want to ask you about the villain because I'm curious how you would look at the transition. Do we ever walk in the victim boots and then take them off and get into the villain boots in the same day?
Yes.
Yeah, because I one of the things, I'll be very candid, is just dealing with shame.
Yeah.
In therapy, I'm dealing with shame that I didn't even realize was shame. In other words, carrying a coat of shame and wearing it, didn't know I was wearing it.
Yeah.
And I resonate with the villain sometimes, because that tends to be the...
Also feels good.
It does.
Vengeance feels good.
It does.
Like sugar.
And is there a time, right? And is there such a thing as a good villain? We see this romanticized in movies.
Screenwriters have to play a game when they make a story about a villain. The best I've ever seen is Walt Disney's movie Cruella.
Yeah.
The origin story of Cruella de Vil. Honestly, one of the best screenplays written in modern times. You got to have a villain in the story who's worse than the villain in order to help the audience identify with
So true.
And so that there's tricks that you play. But ultimately, inside of us, the whole idea is in stories, there are four main characters: the victim, the villain, the hero, and the guide. They're all separated. In real life, they're not separated. Right. They're in you.
Yes.
And that's why you identify them. You go, oh, this guy's the victim. You identify them because you felt all of it, right? But just like in a movie, if you live mostly victim mentality, what happens to the victim in the movie is nothing. The victim is a bit part that makes the hero look good. That's the whole point of them being in there. And if you were playing the victim, you're making certain political parties look good because they're here to rescue you. You're making certain products look good. You're making certain doctors look good. You're making certain Enneagram 2s who want to come in and nurture you. They're looking really good. You know what you're looking like? Nothing, because people forget about you.
Yep.
You're having zero impact on the world as a victim. If you are the hero, you are taking what bad is happening in the world, and you're overcoming it. If you're the guide, you're the older hero who's now helping other heroes. And if you're the villain, you're actually wreaking havoc on the world because usually you're seeking some form of justice or control. Now, what's really interesting about the villain and the hero, both of them have the exact same backstory. In any story, you watch the next movie you watch, and watch how the hero was an orphan. Almost every one of them. The dad left, the mom left. And what the screenwriter is doing is they're trying to get you to identify as the audience with the hero, because even if you had the best parents in the world, you had to leave home at some point, and you felt like an orphan. So that orphan idea, you're resonating with even if you had the greatest parents. And they want that. They want you identifying with that hero. So there has to be some sort of setback, some sort of pain that the hero has gone through. And then the hero decides at some point they're not going to let this rule their life, and they're going to do something. They're going to lose 20 pounds. They're going to sue the chemical company, Aaron Brockovich. They're going to, they're going to do something about the injustice. Mm. What's fascinating is the villain has the same backstory. They experienced pain. They were also orphaned. But what they decided to do with that pain was different. The hero is seeking justice. The villain is seeking vengeance. And that's the only difference between the two of them. 72% of the world's population lives under the threat of an autocrat. 72%. That's a lot of people. So Americans don't even understand how the world works. Completely naive. It is an evil, very evil world, run by very selfish men, almost exclusively. And so, I think that if you see that in yourself, if you're trying to run your house without a system that brings into play the opinions of the other people in your house and the feelings of the people in your house and how they're feeling about things, it's not going to work. By the way, that's the great thing about autocracies. None of them ever work.